that's great you got a job, because you probably couldn't have done this without it. So if we're talking logistically, you being able to achieve the things that you said, it's now a little bit closer to being possible. You turning it around and being like, no, I'm just going to bare minimum. I'm just going to settle for the job because I'm getting paid now. All this freedom that I want, like it's not that important now that I'm getting a little bit of money. Even though this could allow me to be able to build something more and use it as a tool, that'd be too hard. Going beyond this place that everybody is collectively at, the vast majority of people are collectively at, why would I go past that? Like, then I'd start be doing something crazy. People start telling me I'm doing something crazy if I start going beyond that and start trying to build something else for my life.
No, I was saying to my mum today, because obviously, like, my life has been recruitment for the past however many years. And when you actually think about it, like, think of a company and think of the candidates. So from both sides. So you've got the company, they're obviously recruiting for however many roles that they need to fill. They're doing all their interviews. I don't know, for an example, you've got one role. They might interview like 2 people for the role, and neither of them are really like, they might be qualified, but they might not be the right fit for the role. But because they're desperate, because they need to fill it to be able to perform on their targets or like whatever that may be, they can't have that role unfilled. So they're going to take one of these 2 candidates just because. So they fill that job. The person might not stay because they might not be good enough, or I don't know, they just might not enjoy it. But I was just thinking from like both sides. So the company is just filling the job just because, like, whoever comes in, they've only had 2 applicants, so they're going to have to pick one of the 2, even if they're not 100% on them. Then from the candidate's perspective, they might be out of a job currently. So they might be desperate for work. They need to bring the money in. They might not be able to pay the mortgage. Like, they're not out to find their perfect job that they go to every single day. Like, obviously everyone wants something that they love and that they enjoy and all that sort of thing, but people can be desperate and people will take, or they might have been for like, I don't know, 4 other interviews and they've not been offered anything. So they're just going to take this one because they kind of have to. And it's just weird to actually like sit back and like reflect on that. Like, I was only driving in the car with my mum and I was just like, don't know why it just popped up, but I'm like, isn't it weird because people are in their jobs that they probably don't like, but they're just there because they have to be. They didn't even want that job. The people probably didn't want them either. Like, it's just a full circle of, I don't know, a full circle of, what's the word?
I don't know. I know what you mean. It's just a circle of you doing things because you don't actually, it's not any purpose behind it. You're just doing things without purpose, and it's just that continual cycle of it.
Yeah, like how many people just fall into a job? Like, I don't know, we were obviously just discussing about going to university or college, whatever you say. Like, you don't know, I don't know, people go to college, they might like a course that they did at school, and that might be the reason why they go do that, but they don't know what they want to do in later life as a job, as a career. But you just kind of come out of college or uni or whatever, or you get your first job and then you fall into like an industry, and then that's when people kind of stay there. It's not that that's their passion.
Yeah.
It's just weird how like everything works. Like, I'd love to know the amount of people that are actually happy within their jobs.
Yeah, I agree.
Truly.
Yeah, I know, because I don't ever, I feel like when you just normally talk to people, they start complaining about their job. They start complaining about waking up and having to go to it. They start complaining about the things that they have to do, which, I mean, hey, like, I mean, they can be all valid points. So, like, why you're complaining about the job that you're at. But, I mean, complaining's not going to change anything. It certainly isn't going to do you any good. It's not going to make you feel better talking about it and complaining about it and rehashing it. It doesn't do anything in any positive atmosphere. So I think, I don't know, if you're at a job you don't like, I think your mindset needs to be changed around it, because it's a blessing that you do have the job, because you're able to pay your bills, you're able to have the finances, but it shouldn't be the be all end all. If you're not
Yeah.
where you feel like you have purpose in, it shouldn't be the be all end all. And I think one thing I'll have people say of, oh, I got a job, so I don't need to build anything now. I'm like, well, that's great you got a job, because you probably couldn't have done this without it. Do you know what I mean? You probably couldn't have done this without it. So if we're talking logistically, you being able to achieve the things that you said, it's now a little bit closer to being possible. So, but you turning it around and being like, no, I'm just going to bare minimum. I'm just going to settle for the job because I'm getting paid now. So all these things that I talked about, all this freedom that I want, like it's not that important now that I'm getting a little bit of money. Even though this could allow me to be able to build something more and use it as a tool, that'd be too hard. You know, that'd be too hard to start going beyond this place that everybody is collectively at. The vast majority of people are collectively at. Why would I go past that? Like, then I'd start be doing something crazy. People start telling me I'm doing something crazy if I start going beyond that and start trying to build something else for my life. Because you get a lot of pushback at that point, because it's against the society norm to do something that not everybody else is doing. We are taught to follow. We are taught to follow going in school. Like, what we are taught in a school system, a lot of the times is not even necessary life skills. It's not things that are like, I don't know about you, but I don't remember 90% of what I learned in school because like it's not relevant. It's not relevant to my life now. Wasn't relevant to my life then. And that's the majority of how your whole life is treated if you don't do anything different.
Like, unfortunately, this is just the way the world is, and that is probably the only way that the world is going to go round, like with people going through that process and being stuck in the system. But I think it's just having that realization that you can do more, and there is a whole other world out there if you want to. Like, if you have that passion and want to better your life for yourself, your family, like, you don't have to stay stuck in that same like hamster wheel basically till whatever age, 70, 71, whatever it's going to be, until you can retire. Like, you just want to go live your life now.
No, I agree. Like, now's the youngest you're going to be. You should have started yesterday. Like, let's be for real. You should have started yesterday. So you're already a day late. Like, you put it off another day, you're just getting more. And that's how weeks gone by, nothing's changed. 2 weeks gone by, nothing's changed. A month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, nothing's going to change. If you're not actively doing something every single day, nothing is going to change. You should be able to look. And I heard this reel recently about, and every time I start doing something that I know doesn't contribute to anything I'm wanting to build, it plays in my head. It basically talks about laziness and how when you are being lazy, when you're scrolling for hours, when you're watching TV, when you're doing things that are not in any way contributing like that, you're being lazy. You're literally saying, God's given me nothing productive to work on right now. There's nothing that I could be doing to be building. There's nothing productive to work on right now. You've given me nothing of substance to be able to do. Like, I don't want to say that. I know in our lives individually, there's so much we can work on, which is amazing on its own. We have things we can build. We have things we can do to prosper ourselves. And that's awesome of its own. And to completely ignore that is to say, we've got nothing, is a complete lie. But it's a lie people convince themselves of, that they had nothing they could be doing. But everybody has something they can be working on and to be doing every single day, because you've put yourself, if you're in a place to where you've put yourself to, you want more, you started taking some sort of steps to figure it out, but you've not followed through most likely.
It is taking that first step, isn't it? Like, taking action. You just saying then about, I don't know, a day goes by, a week goes by, a month goes by, a year goes by. How many people now are in our inbox saying, I'll start in January? How many people? And I'm like, what's going to happen in January? Like, why January? Like, I understand that everyone does this new year, new me kind of thing, but what's the difference in starting now and starting in January? Like, if it's time, if it's money, like, none of those things are going to change. Like, I've had someone today message me and say, I don't think it's the right time because I've just been made redundant. And I'm
That
like,
was when you started, wasn't it? You were like, there is no
Right.
better time right now.
I started, I don't even, it was probably like 5 days after being made redundant or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's go. What have I got to lose? Like, I am not like a number in a company and can just be let go just like that. I am going to create something for myself where I am building a business and I'm responsible for my own success, and I can't be let go again.
And you hopped off the hamster wheel. Like, that's what you did. You said, I'm not going to go in this cycle again, get another job, be made redundant. Why am I acting insane? The definition of insane is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. When I have people say they've been let go, they've lost their job, they've been fired, whatever it is, that should show you that why in the world would you go about the exact same route, try to find another job that's going to get you, and that you're not going to have the job till you're 60 years old. Most likely you don't want the job till you're 60 years old, and going to where you're just looking for another job, it's going to end you up in that same place. You have to decide, I need to do something else that's going to get me to a different result. And that's what you did. You said, oh, I've been made redundant, where somebody who is in the exact same situation as you were might say, oh goodness, like this, I can't do anything different now because of this.
Yeah.
But you said, no, I have to do something different now because of this. Like, you literally switched it. A different point of view, same situation.
It's your mindset at the end of the day and how you view it. Like, and I think probably for her, not knowing that was probably kind of how I started, like, she probably wasn't expecting the response that she got. And it's probably a good thing that I've had that experience and can speak to her like openly and honestly. Otherwise, if she'd have maybe spoken to someone else first, they might have gone, okay, like, that's fine, I'll leave you alone. Do you know, like,
because they don't understand that
makes a lot of
situation,
time.
and you think that person can't relate to you, but you're like, I can 100% relate to you. I know exactly where you're at.
yeah, this is exactly why you need to do it.
No, I've had the same thing. People being like, do you need to be a certain age to come into this? Them being in high school or something. And I'm like, well, I came across this when I was 16 years old. I was a few weeks away from turning 17. I started it when I was 18. No, you don't need to be a certain age, which I don't think they expect that response. And I had someone recently to where I said that and they were like, well, but now this. But now I don't have a job. I'm doing this. And I'm like, okay, you had one scenario that you brought up, one excuse, 100%, that's what it is. You had one excuse you brought up, and then it wasn't a problem. The only problem was you at that point. Like, we've cleared that. It's not a problem anymore. Then you come in with another excuse, and that's what it is it's an excuse. That's where I was like, okay, you don't actually want all these things that you said then. If your excuses are more important than what you've already described you want to create, then there's nothing I can tell you contrary to that. You don't have a job, get a job. You're into high school and you're worrying about sports. Is your sports going to contribute to what you're wanting to create that you've just listed? I mean, probably not. Like, let's be for real. Probably not. So what you've just described you wanting, it's not important and it's not above your actual circumstances that you're currently in. I think that's the problem with you. I don't know. And that's why I don't like speaking with young people either. Even though I came through this very young, that's not the case a lot of the times for the majority of people that I speak with. It's just a different priorities is what it is. That's what priorities at your age, priorities at my age, when you came into this, when I came into this, our priorities was creating the life that we said we wanted to build. The freedom that we said that was our priority. It wasn't the struggles that we were in. It wasn't the lack of whatever we had, whatever's going in our life. That wasn't the priority of what we were going to focus on. We knew we had to focus on what we were wanting to build to be able to get there. And that's not the case a lot of the times with people. Their priorities are not aligned with what they're wanting to build. If you're worried about all these little singular things, you're not going to get to the place you're wanting to get. You have to align your priorities with what you are wanting to build, and is it actually going to get you there?
And I think, just touching on that, of like younger people, they're going to listen to their parents, their teachers. Do you know, they're the only people that they kind of look up to at that stage, and that's what the previous generation has done as well. So that's all they ever know. So again, it is natural, but if they haven't got the life that you want, don't take that advice. Like, there's so many other people out there doing different things, and just take that time to be able to listen to them, be open to taking that advice, and I don't know, people being able to share that opportunity with you.
Yeah. And I think this is something I thought about recently about, would a successful person tell you this? Like, if we're obviously running a successful business, would you advise someone else not to start a business, and that is not going to get you to where you're wanting to be? Like, if you're imagining these successful people in different fields, could you imagine them giving you negative advice about what you are feeling called into doing? Because I can't.
No,
I can't imagine. Yeah, you wouldn't, because you're like, they're succeeding in this, they're telling me I can succeed.
Yeah, and I think, well, that's going into like a positive sort of negative mindset, isn't it? And how people perceive their life, perceive people, who they surround themselves with. Like, I don't know, it spirals, doesn't it, into so much. Like, I don't know, it's like protecting your own energy in that sort of sense of like, people can think that your dreams are too big, but don't ever let people put you down. Like, if that's what you want to do and that's what you want to achieve, like, why can't you go do that? I'm sure there's so many people that, I can't even remember who it is, but do you know, whoever created Apple, I can't remember the guy's name, but I don't know, someone, he might have done a million other businesses beforehand, or he might have come up with the idea of doing Apple, and someone might have gone, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah. But he did it anyway, and what would we do without that right now?
Exactly. You have more people in whatever you're going to succeed in tell you you're doing something wrong than you will tell you you're doing something right. But I think that's a good thing, because if everyone in your life is in agreement of what you're doing and thinks you're on the right path, you're probably not. Like, I think you should get some pushback. You should get people questioning, oh my gosh, what in the world is she doing? Is she going to fail in this? Because it does come from a place of love. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you lose money. They don't want to see you lose energy into something. But you have to make that decision that you investing your energy into something is worth what you're wanting to build, because you can't get past that. You can't get past putting your time, energy, money into something to be able to build it. The exact opposite of that is having a job. You can just put your time in and get paid, and that's it. And that's the extent of what you're going to build. But going beyond that in a way of building something to where you are putting your all into it, you're putting your talents, your abilities, your passions, your time, your energy, you're putting all of that into something to build something beyond what is in a normal scale, beyond just a paycheck. But you're building something with purpose, you're building something wanting to make impact with it, and that's only done by taking chances. It genuinely is. You cannot do that by not taking a chance.
Definitely. I think so. A lot of people who start this business don't actually tell everyone that they've started, just to protect that and protect like their,
which is totally valid.
Yeah, because they don't want that negative energy coming in of people saying, oh, it's not going to work, or I don't know, what is it that you're doing? Do you know, all those sorts of questions that you maybe don't know in the beginning, because you are learning. It's not something that you've ever done before. You're taking a step away from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. Like, it's a huge step, and you've got so much growth to experience, and I don't know, just to go through. I think if you surround yourself with negative people, like, behaviour breeds behaviour. So you are going to be negative. You are in that negative mindset. I know, like, I have distanced myself from people knowing what they're like, because I come back and I honestly feel drained. And I know that sounds horrendous. Like, it might be friends, it might be family. Like, you can only spend a certain amount of time with them, because there's not that positive reinforcement there. So if nothing changes, literally nothing changes. Like, surround yourself with those positive people who can see your vision as well and have what you want to have.
Do something different to get a different result. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Look at the people around you and ask yourself, is this where I want to be? Because it's not where I wanted to be, and that's why I knew I had to do something different. Know what your actions are every single day and what it is building. Are you building something towards the life that you're wanting, or are you just trying to pass the time? And if you're just passing the time, you're just going to coast, and a year goes by, 2 years go by. Be intentional about what you're doing.
I think just make sure that you have your goals wrote down and that you know where you're heading. And when you're achieving those goals, it's so easy to forget to not celebrate yourself. Like, make sure you celebrate achieving whatever it is that you've achieved.